I'm going to get us on a route. We are in downtown Nashville. This will be a strictly downtown Nashville drive. So we're going to stay inside the downtown area. Wow. Planning about 15 minutes for this route. We'll start here at the Gulch and then head over to Music Row. And from there, we're going to go over to Broadway and the Music City Hall of Fame. So we've got a green light. Car is proceeding through that. Got an obstacle in the way here. Let's see what happens. Car does navigate around that appropriately. That was completely the car doing that turn. And we are in the turn lane for a left turn. We actually want to make a right turn here. So the car is signaling that. We'll go ahead and push the accelerator to let it know it's safe to do so, just because we're in the inappropriate lane for the turn. Good, so the car is proceeding. We were in the right turn lane there, so that was an error, but the car did correct itself and get into the center lane for continuing on the route. Everything looks good. It is signaling a right turn, but there is construction here on the right side, so it's unable to make a lane change there. And this is the intersection that we'll be making our turn at, so we will continue from here. So that curb that they put in on the right side looked like it used to be a turn lane, so that's new construction. The car did a great job maneuvering around that. So let's pick the center of the lane. This is good to keep away from parked cars, as well as keep out of the bike lane, which is on the left-hand side. We do have a lot of parked cars here that are encroaching. Our car is doing a great job maneuvering to the left to get around those. Do you see a pedestrian here? The car initially wanted to stop and then it started again. I don't think it saw that the pedestrian is a threat, so I did take over at that point. I hit the brake to disable autopilot. I'm going to re-engage it now. It may have stopped, but I didn't want to scare the lady and her poor dog, so just make a positive stop there for the pedestrian. Signaling a right-hand turn, and then we're going to make a left-hand turn and another left-hand turn. We do have traffic coming up from the left. This is an unprotected left. It's creeping forward to see that. There is a guy on a scooter coming through. Okay, that looks good. Our car is maneuvering out. Not really certain how it wants to proceed there. So it did make the turn, but it got into the left lane right away, which is appropriate for the route, actually. I'm going to follow this red Tesla here on the left turn. We've got a very tight street with cars parked on both sides. And there's a door open on this bus. Car maneuvered perfectly past that. Signal left-hand turn. We do have an unprotected left here. So traffic coming in from the right side. Our car is creeping forward to check for visibility. Intersection looks clear to me. And the car does make its turn. Again, it didn't turn directly into the nearest turning lane on the left-hand side. But this is the appropriate lane for the route. We do have a bike lane here. And traffic hazard. Usually the car is a lot more needy for traffic cones like that, but it didn't require me to intervene a whole lot. All right, and that ends this leg of the trip. I'm going to go over here and reset. Okay, and I will re-enable full self-driving here. It is a little confused. That was actually an alleyway, and I think the car decided that that wasn't a safe spot to turn. We do have a pedestrian walking his dog, and they are clear of the intersection. This is a four-way stop, so our car makes a complete stop and then proceeds around that corner. So nice little run through a small residential area here in downtown Nashville. Four-way stop, no traffic there, so everything looked good. I'm going to go ahead and enable full screen so you can see traffic, the full traffic visualization as the car sees it. Just reducing our speed back to the speed limit. We don't want to go crazy through this neighborhood. Car signals appropriately for the right turn. We are at a stop sign. Unprotected traffic from the left, so that was stop for us only. And we will make a slight right turn here at the stoplight to follow our route and then proceed through a roundabout intersection. Okay, so we do have a stoplight. The car is signaling the turn. It's creeping forward. I think the traffic is holding, there's a car on the left-hand side, and the traffic coming into this intersection is holding that car from making a turn. Otherwise, they probably had the right of way. And now we're coming through a roundabout. So I'm going to hit the accelerator here because the car came to stop at the yield sign. There's no traffic, actually. Just wanted to proceed through the route. A couple of times just nudging the accelerator pedal to let the car know it's safe to proceed. But in terms of navigation, everything went fine through that roundabout. Right, so hopefully this part of the drive is easy for the car. We just got a straight shot here down this road to the Music City Hall of Fame. We'll see how the car does in terms of navigation and route control. There's a lot of construction here. The car actually did start to turn into the incorrect lane, and then it made a correction and navigated to the correct lane. So sure, that looks strange to anybody that was around us, but in the end, it picked the correct lane for the route. Okay, we're just moving forward to the next intersection here. We're at Rosa L. Parks Boulevard. There is a pedestrian crossing the street. We do have a green light. Car's got the signal on, makes the turn, proceeds through the route. Got a little error beep at us just to make sure that I was on the wheel with the car. It was making sure I was paying attention because there was a pedestrian right at the edge of the sidewalk there. I'm sure the vehicle is uncertain whether he was intending to cross or not. We're on a Wednesday morning here, so we do have weekday traffic. Car is going to make a little bit of a lane change there. That's good. So we are now on the on a little bit of a freeway drive here, just to go around Music City Hall of Fame. Car's doing a pretty good job maintaining this route. We're going to arrive at our destination here just after this stoplight. I'll go ahead and expand the map so that you can see the full traffic visualization that the car sees. We do have a truck next to us. It looks like a flatbed truck or a work truck. Our car is picking it up as a semi-truck or a bus. It's kind of uncertain what type of vehicle that is. And very good job through that portion of the drive. So this would be our destination right here. I'm going to go ahead and reset autopilot to continue on our route. Alright, the car is going to have to recalculate the route because I actually missed a turn there for the straight shot to our destination, but that's fine. This is actually a little better drive. It is going to make a right-hand turn here. It's attempting to get into what it thinks is a right turn lane. That portion of the lane is actually not, but right up here is, so it was a little ambitious in terms of when it wanted to get into that lane. And that click that you heard is the brake. It has an automatic brake that comes on to hold the car at a full stop. It's just creeping forward, waiting for the light to change from red to green, and waiting for the traffic to clear. And we will continue on our route for a few more blocks. And this will be a short trip, leg of the trip to the Country Music Hall of Fame. From there, I'm going to head over to the Gulch. Right now that traffic's moving, the car does signal the turn, makes the turn appropriately, and it enters into the correct turn lane. So some of the things that I've noticed in the downtown area, I've used full self-driving a few times here in downtown Nashville, and some of the things that I've noticed in the drives is that with construction and pedestrians and other traffic, sometimes the car gets a little confused which lane it wants to be in and doesn't make the lane change soon enough, or ends up in the incorrect lane. So I do have to intervene a lot more in this downtown area than I have in other drives. And I'm very certain that that's probably typical for many downtown areas in the United States. All right, we're proceeding on our route and everything looks good. A couple of blocks here, we'll make a right-hand turn and then we'll make an immediate left-hand turn. So this will be a complex route navigation scenario. The car has to make a lane change to make the left-hand turn right away. We do have a truck kind of odd parking here on the sidewalk. I'm going to let the car do what it's going to do. So it does stop because there's an oncoming car in our lane. Otherwise, it would have maneuvered into the other lane to pass the truck that is parked up on the sidewalk. And I say that not guessing. I've actually encountered that situation before, so I know how the car tends to behave. All right, we're coming up on the right-hand turn. Car signals appropriately. No pedestrians. We do have a bike lane here. It is maneuvering safely into the correct lane. And then up at this light, we're going to make a left-hand turn. We do already have a green light. Car should just flow right through that, and it does. So it's actually turned into what is the parking lane. It realized that, and then it maneuvered into the next lane over into the right lane, or center lane, sorry. And at this point, we'd want to continue straight on, but it does get into a turn lane. Actually is signaling the turn. Even though the route has us going straight here, it's signaling a turn. Now it's signaling into the center lane and signaling the turn. Okay, it's maneuvering. Actually went through there just fine. Did end, I shouldn't say just fine. Actually went through there with a little bit of confusion. But it did end up just fine at the end of the intersection. So we are appropriate for this point to be turning left. Okay, so we do have a turn signal on. We've got a green light. Now I'm going to nudge the accelerator just to let the car know it's okay to go there. We had a hole, and I think the car would have paused too long to assess whether it was safe to go, and oncoming traffic would have blocked the intersection right away. So that was my experience earlier this week in the same portion of the drive. Bridgestone Arena on the right-hand side. Country Music Hall of Fame is up here just on the left. Car does proceed through that intersection, and it picks the correct lane at the end of it. And we will reset our route for the next leg of our journey. Okay, back on our route now. We're going to head over to the Gulch area. To a mural called What Lifts You. This will be an interesting little drive for the car. We do have a roundabout coming up here. Car is maneuvering into the left lane to proceed through the roundabout. So it is signaling to get into the right lane, but I think we want to be in this lane to proceed through. So I did realize that. I do have a couple of pedestrians over here on the right side. I'm going to stop because the car started rolling forward and I wasn't sure if it saw the pedestrians. And then we'll nudge forward here to let the car do its thing through the roundabout. Okay, so it's proceeding into it. I did have to give it some accelerator there just to encourage it to go through. And through the roundabout, we are going to exit right here. Bring that speed back, sir. We don't want to be flying through these bumps. Right-hand turn on this one way under the bridge. And the car took that just fine. We're at an all-way stop. This is a three-way intersection. No other traffic. The car is full stop, and then it's proceeding through as I would expect it to do. You can see on the route here, we're going to make a right turn. I don't really want a right turn here, but it's going to do it anyways. I'll take over just because there's another car right there. Full self-driving is back on. So I think it would have been more appropriate for the car to go straight ahead and then make a turn up here. Or follow a larger route, I should say. But I think it's finding the most direct path to the destination that include that little turn right there. So I won't fault it for the navigation, but it's not the route that I would have chosen. All right, we do have a red light here at this intersection. The traffic coming in from our left has a green light. Our car is paused appropriately for this. No traffic coming in. I'm going to just press the accelerator to let the car know it's safe to turn. Makes the turn, and then we are at the destination. I would say mostly success for this drive with just a few faults. You do still have to pay attention. It is not fully autonomous, but Tesla tells you that when you enter the FSD Beta program. So there you have it. That's all I have for this drive. So I just want to thank you guys here from Nashville, Tennessee. I'm getting on the road back home today to head back to Eau Claire, and we'll catch you on the next one.